Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome to another installment of the Red Shadow's Favorite Games. I'm the Red Shadow, and today we're talking about one of my favorite Rockstar games, a little game by the name of Bully. This is my PlayStation 2 copy, and my most recent playthrough of this was the Scholarship Edition for the Xbox 360, which for some reason, because of the lighting, is kind of glaring out the top part. But anyway, there's that, and this is my Scholarship Edition strategy guide. I don't know if I'm going to try to find a non-Scholarship Edition at some point to complete my collection. Well, to add to my collection of strategy guides, but anyway, no matter. I think the one thing I will be doing at some point is snapping up the Wii version of the Scholarship Edition, just for prosperity's sake. But let me talk a little bit about this game here, Bully. I don't remember if this came out before or after San Andreas, but I do know that by the time this came out, I was hooked on GTA games. GTA 3 and Vice City, and San Andreas if this came out after. I don't remember. What I remember most about this game is that everybody was up in arms over it. They were like, what are you doing, Rockstar? You're making a kid version of Grand Theft Auto, and you're calling it Bully. So you know that it's going to encourage bullying. Well, not really. Obviously, I've played the game a few times, PS2 version and the 360 version. The game is not necessarily about bullying people. It's a kid who's probably the archetype of a bully, but for the most part he's actually more a victim of bullying than anything else. But he decides, because he's got a tough edge to him, he's going to stand up to the people who are bullying him. The kid's name is Jimmy Hopkins. I don't remember if I mentioned that. But in the storyline of the game, Jimmy is being dropped off at Bullworth Academy by his mom and her rich new husband, as they're going to go off on their honeymoon for several months and leave Jimmy in this well-to-do school. And really, once he gets into the school, Jimmy realizes that everywhere around him are bullies, from the other kids to the teachers to the staff to the principal. I mean, everybody on board this place is a massive bully and a massive douche. So, as I said before, he decides he's going to take the school for himself, and takes out each different group of kids, like all the cliques from school, the nerds and the jocks and the, I can't remember, the preppies, the greasers. That's kind of funny. In this game, the greasers, unless you're in the 50s or something, I don't think most people's schools have a bunch of kids dressed up like Sha-Na-Na, wearing leather jackets and greased back hair. But they were just, I guess, I assume they were just trying to show the dichotomy of school, high school, that kind of thing, all the different cliques and all the different groups that you go up against. Although when I was in school, there were jocks, there were nerds, we had drama kids. This was like early 90s, so we had the grunge type kids. I didn't really pick up on there being a group that was basically like auto shop, which is kind of what the greasers were in this game. Anyway, the parallels between this game and my school experiences were so far off. That's why I'm saying that when people thought that Bully was going to be some sort of like a bully simulation, they couldn't be more wrong. I think today's bullies, and even bullies when I was in school, were way more sadistic and evil and darkly intended than anybody in these video games. But I'll let most people play the game or check out some gameplay footage of it to make that determination for themselves. I just enjoyed it because it was a hilarious game, and it took a lot of the gameplay elements from Grand Theft Auto, but did it in a different way. Like, there's no blood, there's no guns as far as like actual bullets. There's like a potato gun that launches potatoes at people. There's a slingshot, and there's just a bunch of other silliness. and it's just a fun game. It's an interesting story, and it has a day-night cycle that forces you to be like, okay, I got to go do this stuff before it gets dark, or I'm going to pass out. And sometimes that causes you to fail the missions that you're supposed to do in the games. So, I don't know. It was just really, really fun. It was a fun adventure, and despite all of its controversy, I don't think that there's anything to be worried about in this game much more than, some of the disgusting things that happen in it. This is rated T for teen for crude humor, language, sexual themes, use of alcohol and tobacco, and violence, which you can find in so many other games that are out there. I just think this game had a bad rap against it for, superfluous reasons. But it's a good time, and I think in my opinion, it's often overlooked because GTA overshadows so many other things in the gaming world, and anything that has Rockstar's name on it, if it's not GTA, I think a lot of people will shy away from it. I think Bully may have gotten a little bit of that. Not to say that nothing Rockstar, that's not Grand Theft Auto, doesn't get the recognition it deserves. Red Dead Redemption is an amazing game that they did. That was very, very well done. But Bully is it's pretty fun. It's hard to say. If you've played a GTA game and you enjoyed it, you'll enjoy Bully. It's just like GTA Lite. Now, recently I've heard rumors, well, there's been rumors for a few years anyway, that there might be a Bully 2, which I think would be great. Of course, as we all know, I'm of the mindset that I'm not getting the new consoles, so if they did release a Bully 2 at this point, it's more than likely not coming out on anything that I own, and that would once again be a shame. But I still think they should do it, and I think they should pursue Jimmy Hopkins' adventures in college. Maybe that's too predictable, but it's about a kid who was in school. So if you turn Bully 2 into a game about Jimmy Hopkins in the real world, you're just making another Grand Theft Auto game, probably. But I would love to see them do a second Bully game, even if I don't get to play it. Just the fact that it would be put out there would be pretty exciting to me. So I guess that's about all I can really think to say about Bully. Check it out. It's a whole lot of fun. I played it last year at some point, the Scholarship Edition, which had some new classes, new characters, 8 new missions, new mini-games, rewards, and of course the achievement system implemented for it. And despite the fact that I read a lot of warnings that this version that was ported over by Mad Do, I don't know, it's hard to see it there. It's ported over by another company. They said there was a lot of glitches that came over with it. I didn't have any glitching in my game that affected the gameplay, but that's something to think about. Apparently these versions, the 360 version can be a little glitchy, but it looks a lot better and has all those additions. So if I was going to recommend between the two, if you had to choose one, I'd say go with this version if you have a 360 for the improved visuals and all the added additional stuff. But if you really want the original experience, go for PS2 or Xbox. I can't remember if it was released on the Xbox or if that version got canceled. But this is, of course, the original, so the classics. But this is the improved version that did add enough extra stuff to it to set it apart. Alright guys, well that's today's installment of the Red Shadow's Favorite Games. I've been the Red Shadow, and I'll see you next time.